talk about it.
Oh, are we ready? Okay. There we go.
All set. So good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, May 21st, 2019. Time is exactly 2 p.m. Calling this meeting to order. Attending are Commissioners Duncan and Filios. Commissioner Brooks is excused. He's in another meeting. And we will proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance. Kevin, would you lead us, please? Did I use the wrong name?
Who's Kevin?
I screwed it up. Okay.
Mike. I think you should have to do it now.
Okay. There you go. All right. So I forgot the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There's a tomb of the unknown soldier, maybe the unknown pledge. Whatever. I don't know. Well, I could have asked for Leroy, and that probably would have. Never mind, we won't go there. I wanted to name our dog Leroy, and my wife wouldn't have it. But, okay, so we're moving on to the consent calendar then.
I move that we approve the consent calendar as listed on our May 21st agenda.
I second.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Filios?
Aye. Motion carried. Moving on to, do we have any changes to the agenda? Hearing none, no withdrawals or anything of the sort. Moving on. Payables list.
I move that we approve the payables list for the week of May 13th through 17th in the amount of $597,726.78, along with jury panel payments of $2,713.64.
Second.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Filios?
Aye. Motion carried. Moving on to the first of our action items, which is bid determination 2019-09, surplus property solid waste. Is Kathy here? Yes, she is.
Yes, Kathy Mayer for the record. We opened bids, or you opened bids for surplus equipment for solid waste on May 15th. We only received one bid, and we recommend moving forward with that is to W.D. Beck in the amount of $237.50 for a pickup truck. The other two items, a boom truck and a pickup truck, since we received no bids, we would like to be instructed to move forward with disposal according to the law.
Okay.
Okay. Does the motion need to have the name and the bid amount?
Well, I think there's probably two motions to make. One,
Okay.
to dispose of the other two assets, and then to accept a bid for the 3491 truck.
Okay. All right, then I move that we approve disposing of the asset 4833 and 4058 in accordance of law because we didn't get any bids for those.
Second.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Filios?
Aye. Motion carried.
And then I move that we go ahead and approve the bid for the surplus property on asset 3491 to W.D. Beck in the amount of $237.50.
Second.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Filios?
Aye. That concludes item one. Second item, First Amendment to Consultant Agreement for Professional Services, Great West Engineering for the Ramsey Road Transfer Station specifically for household hazardous waste. Kathy Mayer.
Yes, this is the first amendment to the engineering agreement. We completed the phase one of the project, which was the design and the engineering. We've moved into the bidding phase right now, so this is awarding the remainder of the engineering and inspection and contract management services for this particular project. It also included some additional design work that was required because of the city of Coeur d'Alene building permit. We had to do some fire protection and some sidewalk improvements and things. So the project is estimated not to exceed $203,525.
Okay, questions?
No.
Okay, motion.
I move that we approve the First Amendment to consultant agreement for professional services between Great West Engineering for the Ramsey Road Transfer Station and Household Hazardous Waste and Solid Waste.
Second.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 3, First Amendment to consulting agreement for professional services, Great West Engineering for the Fighting Creek landfill planning. Kathy Mayer once again.
Yes, as you mentioned, this is the first agreement for the fill planning we have with Great West Engineering. It's estimated not to exceed $5,714. We added some additional land area, including the original landfill, into the project.
Motion.
I move that we approve the First Amendment to consultant agreement for professional services with Great West Engineering for the Fighting Creek landfill planning solid waste.
Second.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 4, fiscal year 2019, Operation Stone Garden Operations Order and Budget with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, specifically the Bureau of Customs and Border Protection, Resource Management Office, on behalf of our Sheriff's Organization. Kim.
Yes, this is the Stone Garden grant. This is actually asking permission to apply for the grant, and we've discussed this. I believe that Lieutenant Higgins is here to speak to the details if you have any further questions.
Lieutenant McFarland's actually here to speak.
McFarland for that one.
Okay.
He keeps getting skipped over. Oh, you're for the, sorry.
Any questions?
No, I'm just gonna say that I am not a fan of the license plate readers. I don't necessarily agree with the way that they can be abused, but I want to support the sheriff in apprehending human traffickers. So I will be fine with approving this grant
Okay.
application.
I do have a question though. How, theoretically, how could they be abused?
I don't know.
Well,
Because
what
they only hit off of license plates that have been entered into the system.
So the data, it doesn't record all the license plates that you are receiving
I believe, yeah,
information?
it records them, but it only, if we were to search, which would take a lot, because it is constantly reading license plates.
Right.
But other than that,
is it save as it reads? Is it saving everything it reads, or does it only look for specific plates that are on a watch or?
I believe when it's downloaded, because we run off of the Tulse Falls houses the system, and so when it downloads, it goes into their storage system. I don't remember how long it is that they keep it, the retention on those, but it does, they do get saved.
Okay. Grant.
I might speak to that, just from the IT side of how the system works, the boss system in Post Falls is what we're talking about. I think what you were saying is correct. They can queue up, like, basically if you had a warrant for someone, you can queue up a plate that we're looking for. If we have an Amber Alert or we have something going on, then the patrol unit can cruise through a parking lot at speed, read those plates, and if it finds that plate, then that pops up for the officer. It's not popping up every single person, every person's detail.
Oh,
They
okay.
couldn't keep up with it. The design is to queue up, like at a briefing basically, and say, this is what we're on the lookout for today. That way, as the unit is cruising around, the point is that it can read every single license plate at speed, not to collect every single license plate, but rather to make sure it's looked at every one to see if it's one of the ones that we're targeting.
Okay, that's much.
Yeah,
Feel
it
better?
only-
Did that sound?
Okay.
Yeah, it only hits on what we want it to hit. I mean,
Right.
it has to be already loaded into the system, but there's no way to run every single.
Did you?
I have information that in my former position, I
Yeah,
worked
go
with
right
license
ahead.
plate reader a lot, license plate reader data a lot, including from the BOSS system. And it does record every license plate it passes and stores that data. It's fully searchable. So the ways that that data could be abused is that an officer, if he wanted to check and see where his wife had been, could run that data. But that, literally, I don't know of any instances where that happened. Instead, if an officer wanted to look for a suspect vehicle and the vehicle was never at the suspect's residence, he could run that license plate and find out, no, he's been staying with his mom because that vehicle has been seen at this address 6 times in the last 2 weeks, because it gathers that data. And it's very useful in investigations. It can be critical
Sure.
in investigations.
But we are also required by CJIS compliance that if that officer makes that query, that is also logged. So
Right.
there's accountability. It's not
Sure.
just someone could blindly anonymously go look at historical data and then get away with it and use that for their own efforts. That the fact that they went in and queried for that historical data would always be in record. And if, someone claimed there was abuse, we could go back and see, yes, Deputy so-and-so did this search and that was not part of his daily task. He had no reason to do this, and then take whatever recourse, so.
Like all criminal investigation systems, there is a full audit trail on all searches for that data.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So is it, out of just curiosity, it's
Question.
only for Kootenai County, though, officers, but all the data is stored in Post Falls? Or will
It's
Post
a-
Falls,
It's a county and a city joint project.
oh, it is, okay.
Anyway, that was Nancy Pluff, our senior business analyst. You all set?
Sure.
Okay.
So I move that we approve the FY 2019 Operation Stone Garden Operations Order and Budget Application for Grant.
Yeah, it's an application, and for the record, the amount is $83,350.40.
Do you want to state that? We're okay, aren't we, Dave?
Yes.
Okay. Second?
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 5, awarding sheriff's badge, the duty weapon, and ID card to retirement of Sergeant Hildebrand from our sheriff's organization.
Lieutenant Ryan Higgins, for the record, Sergeant Hildebrand's gonna be retiring on June 8th, 2019. We'd like to present him with his badge and duty weapons for his years of service with the agency. He's moving to Florida.
He's moving to Florida?
Yeah.
My condolences. I family
Is that where all
there.
retired people go? Florida and Idaho, right?
Yeah.
Florida and Idaho. Throw Arizona in there too. Okay, motion.
Sure, I move that we approve the award of sheriff's badge and duty weapon and ID card for Sergeant Hildebrand in his retirement.
Second.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye. Motion carried. Okay. Item number 6, budget amendment for fiscal 19 law enforcement partnership, law enforcement grant, our resource management office in behalf of our sheriff's organization. Kim?
Yes, this is a request for an amendment on the FY19 Law Enforcement Partnership for Success Grant. The Sheriff's Office has been unable to utilize all of the dollars allocated for personnel, and so they would like to use those dollars for equipment that would also be useful for this project. Stephanie at Office of Drug Policy has indicated that she would be okay with this, but we would need your approval to move the budget from personnel to expense, to an operating expense.
Does it have the same deadline?
It would be by June 30.
Okay, and so you said Stephanie will approve it once we approve it, or?
She's okay with it. We've got a memo here that we've written to her, and she would just like a little bit more, you see that request for
Yep,
just
and it's already been
additional
done.
documentation, so she was gonna be fine with it, and then we would just need to be assured that we receive the items by June 30.
Okay, then I move that we approve the budget amendment regarding the FY19 law enforcement partnership, the law enforcement grant, moving funds from personnel to the operating expense.
And I second.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 7, fiscal year 20 Law Enforcement Partnership for Success grant application, RMO, once again in behalf of our sheriff's organization.
So this is the FY '20 application. They changed the year. The last one, I don't think came before you until about December for the FY '19 grant. So this is the FY '20 application in the amount of $76,578. It's also a reimbursement grant. There's no match required.
Okay.
I move that we approve the FY '20 Law Enforcement Partnership for Success grant application.
Second.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 8, video arraignment equipment from the Idaho Department of Juvenile Corrections to Idaho Juvenile Justice Commission for our juvenile detention organization. Brandy, would that be you?
Brandy Bradley for the record. We have received an opportunity to upgrade our video arraignment equipment, which we use for occurrences for our residents, from the Idaho Department of Juvenile Corrections. It does require a 10% match, but we can receive up to $3,500. And grant committee has indicated that the Information Technologies Department could provide that match from their budget.
Okay.
It requires us to respond by June 15th, but then all funds would be refunded to us.
Which I presume you've budgeted.
Well, it will come out of my maintenance budget. I've been spending more than that that 10% match, $350. I've been spending more than that annually just trying to keep these things running. So
Okay.
what we're gonna get out of this is new systems that'll probably go 3 to 4 years without touching our wrench to them. So it's definitely worth our time and money.
Okay.
And it's not a grant?
Jill.
So
It's an
we're-
award.
Okay, just curious.
I move that we approve the video arraignment equipment grant, Idaho Department of Juvenile Corrections for our juvenile justice, our juvenile detention video system.
Second.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 9, Second Amendment for Mass Fatalities Response Network, U.S. Forest Service. Dr. Keene, our coroner.
Warren Keene for the record from the coroner's office. This was originally negotiated by Dr. West with the Forest Service because they have significant square footage of cooling ability, and if we have a mass fatality of more than what we are able to accomplish with a disaster declaration from the commissioners to the governor to the president, we could then utilize the U.S. Forest Service facilities. And this is just another extension of a 5-year extension of what we already have.
Okay. Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the Second Amendment for the Mass Fatalities Response Network and the U.S. Forest Service with our coroner.
Second.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye. Motion carried. Resolution 2019-48, surplus equipment and asset deletion from our recorder's office. Would that be Paige?
Yes. Paige Gissel, recorder. This is a resolution to get rid of an old printer. It's just reached full depreciation.
Motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 2019-48, which is surplus of equipment and asset deletion for the recorder's office.
Second.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye. Motion carried. I think we can group items 11 and 12. They're resolutions 2019-49 and 2019-50 to classify and destroy, respectively, records for our Kootenai County Sheriff's Organization. Motion?
I move that we approve resolution numbers 2019-49 and -50, which is the classification of records and destroying of records with the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office.
Second.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye. Motion carried. Public comment?
I do have one thing.
Yes.
I don't know if the board knows, but one of our sergeants, Sergeant Chris Case, was in a motorcycle accident in Galveston last night on the National Forest. He was coming down Forest Service Road that's it's designated for off-highway vehicles, and he went off the trail, or hit a bump and went off the trail and broke 7 ribs and broke his back in 2 places. He is at the hospital now, but he should recover. There's no spinal cord injury. He's just gonna have a long road ahead of him. The 7 ribs are pretty painful, so.
Sure.
Wow.
On duty, off duty?
It was off duty.
Okay.
He said he should've went fishing.
Yeah, I'm
So
sorry to
told
hear
How
us
much
that.
danger in that?
Okay.
Well, thank you for sharing. Certainly our
Yes.
thoughts and prayers will be with him.
Yeah.
Any other public comment? Time is
You're waiting.
2:20. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.
Hey, I have a question for you.